what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. Let's just do a little transfer portal bridge segment here. How about that? As the spring portal is officially open, Coach Kelly talked about it yesterday. And he mentioned that, look, now most schools are kind of looking for depth pieces, and it's hard to go out there and just find a starter at this point. And granted, there's not a ton of huge names out there, but there are some. And there's a couple of linemen that should maybe be on LSU's radar. Now, probably the biggest name is Bear Alexander, a defensive lineman. The problem is, Jake, from the article you linked and what I read, it seems like Bear Alexander is going to USC.
It feels
What's
like
huge get for the Trojans, if that's the case.
Yeah, it does feel like it. And this is a player that, remember, had 2 sacks in the national championship game. He was one of the, within this last Georgia defensive line that's going to have a top 5 pick, like he was one of the guys that stood out. He was a very highly touted top 45 player coming out of high school. Not really sure because he was playing a ton. He was a guy. His NIL value is $227,000.
Damn.
I'm not sure why he's leaving Georgia. I'm not sure what happened. But if you get him to come to your team, T, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this, hey, I'm Bear Alexander. I need even more money.
Yeah.
And who's going to pay the highest? But it's crazy to leave Georgia, a team that has a very good chance to be back-to-back-to-back national champs. You're making, $227,000 right now, and you're playing a ton. You're a guy.
But there is an element of you are a guy.
Can you be the guy?
You'll be the guy at USC.
Yeah, he will.
And granted, USC they have committed heavily to fixing the front seven. And I want to say they've got like 3 or 4 all-conference D linemen that have already transferred in from separate conferences. So now adding Bear Alexander, that makes okay, USC's done a pretty respectable job. Like Alex Grinch, you can't use any more personnel excuses. Not this year, not with this D-line that you've put together. And so, yeah, look, I'm sure that USC promised him more money, which is obviously going to help. And then, again, at Georgia, you're not Jalen Carter, right? You're not there's just so many badasses as Georgia through the years that your impact, and you got the ring, you got the natty ring, right? So it's you're kind of freed from that expectation as well. It's why also like AD Mitchell's like, all right, I'll peace out. My race has been run.
He's from Denton, Texas, but went to IMG. California certainly would be.
Well, his dad was at the USC spring game taking pictures of Caleb Williams. Why? Your dad is not going to a random spring game just to hang out.
No, he's not. Even though, flights to Los Angeles are easy to get. It's a great time to visit this time of year. But, yeah, you're not going out there unless you have a purpose.
So that's not going to matter too much to LSU. The names that maybe could, there's a couple of great guards, our interior offensive linemen, we'll call them, in the transfer portal. One of them is from A&M, Matthew Wyckoff, who I believe LSU is officially on the record having offered. I'm not 100% on that, but he's someone who was on the SEC all-freshman team last year. Due to injury, he ends up playing center last year for the Aggies. He's 6'7". Got a little bit of our boy Posick in him, being 6'7", playing center. But look, LSU likes Charles Turner. They like Marlon Martinez, but, this is just the name of the game. You're always going to try to add bodies at positions where you feel like you're relatively thin and make it better. Wyckoff could do that. And then, Jake, I know you like Emmanuel Pregnan, old boy from Wyoming. That seems to be, I think he's like top 5 overall in the portal right now.
He's right on the edge of it. And if Bear Alexander is, in fact, going to USC, he would be top 5 available. He comes in at number 6 because Bear Alexander is still technically undecided. But he's been offered by the who's who. He is someone, I love the picture you put in the document. His wingspan is incredible. He is
he's a big boy.
Big old boy and put together. And this is, for me, like a perfect piece. Now, what does he want? What's he looking? Is he looking to come right in a Power 5 and be the starter? Because I don't know that he can do that at LSU. LSU returns a lot. Now, he can compete for it, and maybe he wins a job. Or is he looking to come to a place like LSU, maybe sit this year because he's still only a redshirt freshman, sit this year, and then you come in and you're the guy for 2 years, you get drafted. It depends on what his mindset is. But this is what you're looking to add. Right now, you're looking to add group of 5 depth that can come in and be just that, just be a depth piece. But does he do that, or does he go to others like Colorado, Arizona State that have offered him where he could probably step right into and be a starter?
I think, wow. I think he probably goes to somewhere where he's immediately going to play. What is fascinating about this is, and these stories will be less interesting as time goes on, but to me they're still intriguing, is that by succeeding in the way that he did at Wyoming, where he's been very good, he's made himself a lot of money.
Yeah.
Which I love to see. Like Colorado, who now has all sort of investment and NIL buy-in that was never there pre-prime, like he can go to Colorado, go get paid, and go play immediately at a bigger level in a Power 5 conference. And really at any school. The point is, it's just like, it's just such a drastic change from what we've been used to for the entire history of college football that, like, guys, if you're a high school player out there and you don't go to the major school right away, your race is not yet run.
Yeah.
Like, don't give up. Like, if you really believe in yourself, you're obsessed, you think you can do it. If you end up doing it, not only can you now leave and go test yourself on the higher level that originally didn't even want to give you that look, but you will get immediate money. You will make money for that improvement. So, like, when he went to Wyoming, I'm sure he was frustrated, thought he was better or whatever. What he do? He kept working. He's 6'6", 320. Like you said, well put together, looks jacked. And now he stands to go somewhere and get paid.
I love that you said that. We have not talked enough about that, T-Bob. And I just talked to Hartsock. He's good. He can wait just a couple more minutes. Chill out, Benny. Because that is an option. Like, that is something now that is available. Like, you don't have to be the guy straight out of high school. Like, if you go somewhere like Wyoming, that's okay. That's okay.
Yes.
Like, even if you go somewhere like, East Tennessee State, like, you're going to be okay. Like, you can find your way. Like, keep working, keep grinding. That's a part of NIL transfer portal that no one talks about, but it's a good side of it. In my opinion, and now those schools in the FCS, I apologize, but sorry. Like, if you go to East Tennessee State and you outplay that and you get a chance to make a couple of dollars and you get a chance to go to the group of 5, Power 5, whatever it is, that's the old American dream a little bit.
Yeah.
There.
100%.
And so, gosh, who was it that we were? Oluwatimi from Michigan.
Yeah.
Very good
what a
player.
fun name.
Very good player. We had him 3 or 4 days ago. I didn't even realize this. He started at Air Force.
I didn't know that either. I thought he was always at Michigan.
So he starts at Air Force.
Yeah.
And because that he didn't have any options, right? And he's like, dude, I'm skinny, I'm losing weight. Like, I wanted to be a football player. I knew this wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And so then he transfers to Virginia. Then he plays at Virginia for 3 years. And then he's like, this isn't getting the most out of what I can be. He then goes to Michigan. And now he's going to be, like, right now he's the 3rd center in this upcoming draft and had a hell of a year for Michigan.
He won the Remington, didn't he?
Yeah. So, like, for him, like, he started at Air Force, then goes to Virginia. Even though Virginia's a Power 5, it's not Michigan. Goes to Michigan, does really well in the NIL space, plays on a really good team, gets to a college football playoff and loses to TCU in a disappointing loss. But still, like, it's another story of a guy that started here, didn't have options out of high school, so he goes to the Air Force. And then gets a chance to go to Virginia, then gets a chance to go to Michigan.
So, like, again, I mean, the entire point of this is, keep at it, okay? Because the ability to rise and benefit off of that rise, you no longer have to wait for, the NFL will find you no matter what, which still rings true, but now you can make sure that they find you. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.